being locked in here? That's the question. Kha'Zix. Interesting. You would think that would probably be a Kha'Zix jungle. I'm not going to be seeing support Kha'Zix or Kha'Zix mid like certain somebody around the ALS has been talking about.
Not with the Fiora being hovered. I feel like there's our top lane choice for Apes Together Strong.
Absolutely. Looks like Apes Together Strong is going to be keeping the mid lane pick for the second round here, trying to get FB Jake on some sort of counter pick, be able to abuse this mid lane matchup and try to generate a lead for themselves around that. Final pick here for Iron Dragon. First round, Syndra being locked in.
Which brings us back to our bans. Iron Dragon getting the first choice here. We'll see what they settle on.
So Ape did a good job here of first picking Aphelios. Lego Ninjago definitely is capable of playing this champion. Has played him a lot in solo queue. I know, but also keep picking him away from Lai Jalu. We've seen Lai Jalu so many times this split on Aphelios to be an absolute monster. So I'm really a fan of the first pick of Aphelios here, since they are on the blue side. That was well done. But we do see the Twisted Fate ban coming off. FB Jake had a monster game on Twisted Fate to grab Apes their first victory, actually, last week. So not want to see him on that champion again.
Graves, the response here, taking that off of Anger Mommy. A lot of bans headed towards this jungle here. Trundle, Elise, Graves. Makes me curious if the last ban will also be towards the jungle.
Yeah, still haven't seen what Ain't Your Mommy will be playing here. Be interesting to see if we see like a J4 ban or a Zac ban. We saw Ain't Your Mommy play Zac yesterday. Quite effectively.
After his performance yesterday, I imagine it would be the Zac, but the ADC slot is still also open, so I can see them also throwing down a ban towards that bot lane. Yep, there's the Ezreal.
So we will not be seeing. They're taking away the Aphelios and the Ezreal from Lai Jalu. Probably would assume we'd see a Zac block in right here. I don't see why Iron Dragon would... it works well with their comp. I don't see why they would vary away from that sort of style of play that we saw yesterday.
Yeah, I definitely like the Zac pick here, but we will in fact pick the Lucian for Lai Jalu.
I predict it's only a matter of time until we see the Zac block in. But... the other questions that remain is how is Apes going to round out their comp here with their final two picks? They still haven't picked a mid laner for FBJ. Will not be able to get the last pick on that, but obviously you can pretty much assume that it's going to be Syndra mid for I'm Candy. So there's the Fizz coming through.
And not okay. I can dig the not. I think Thresh is a better choice here, given that you have the Aphelios.
Yeah, we have seen just how destructive the Thresh Aphelios combination is in the ALS. I'm not sure exactly what the stats are, but something like 8-1 or something like that. So far,
will be the not locked in.
Are we going to see the Zac lock in? Place your bets. Place your bets. I think we are. Be very surprised if you see the J4.
Well, taking their time.
Lee Sin.
Lee Sin. Ooh.
Oh my goodness. That is definitely interesting. We have seen HRI play Lee Sin once, I believe, but that was back in season 1 of the ALS. That was a long time ago. Definitely an interesting lock-in here, especially with the Zac on the table. Gonna be looking for definitely some early aggressive plays, which we have been seeing recently the past 2 or 3 games from Iron Dragon. Aggressive early game against Glacier Rising Phoenix. Did a great job last week. as well as a great job yesterday in their game. Just really doing a good job of being super proactive early. So looks like they're going to be trying to use this Lee Sin to that effect as well, and just try to make a lot of plays early on and try to get an early lead in this game. But definitely surprised we didn't see the Zach lock in here. I would have put some money down on that one.
After the performance from yesterday, I definitely would have too.
But it will be interesting to see FB Jake on this Fizz. I'm not sure if I don't think we've seen a Fizz so far this split. We don't have our stats working online for us today, unfortunately, with the champion select issues, but definitely interesting lock-in. All around their team comp is pretty... As far as Apes Together Strong goes, they've, in the past, had some questionable comps. A lot of the times, problematically because of the Shaco jungle consistently, I feel like. They've had some comp issues, but gonna be repping the Kazakhs today. Got the Fiora up in the top lane. Solid bot lane, Mr. 200 years in Nautilus. Got some solid team fight possibilities. Especially, I like this. I like Lost Fox on this Fiora. Definitely one of the strongest players on this team. So just putting him on somebody able to just 1v9 hard carry the game, especially through some of these team fights, is a good idea. The thing to keep in mind is also this Mordekaiser that locked in from Iron Dragon, because definitely going to be able to disrupt a lot of these team fights, taking people out of the fight with the ultimate. The name of it is slipping my mind right now.
You're asking the wrong
The Death
person,
Realm.
right?
My brain is just completely slipping, but we have just about a minute and a half remaining though on the spectator delay, so I believe it is time to go to those. Go to the predictions. What are you thinking? I know we talked a little bit about it before the draft, but
you know what? I haven't bet on Iron Dragon in a while. I'm gonna say Iron Dragon will win by the 27-minute mark.
27 minutes. Well,
And I will bet you a skin on it.
You'll bet me your skin. Try to make me pick Apes Together Strong into Iron Dragon for skin.
No. You just have Apes Together Strong just has to make it past 27 minutes.
I don't think I'm going to be able to take you up on that bet today. I think that I'm also going to go with Iron Dragon to win this game. I would bet more in the lines of 23 minutes.
I don't think they'll win by 23.
I think they're going to win by 23 minutes. Iron Dragon has just looked really, really clean over the past week or so. 2 or 3 games that they've had. And I really like this comp. I'm really intrigued to see Ancient Money back on this Lee Sin after so long as well. But I think they're gonna jump out to a pretty good lead, like we've seen the past couple of games from them, and be able to really just snowball this game.
All right. Well, how about this? I bet you that the game will make it past the 24-minute mark.
Oh God! You're just trying to take another skin from me, man. I don't know. I don't feel confident enough in this particular setting to wager another skin, but we'll find a. I'll be more than happy to wager some more mystery skins with you as the split keeps progressing. But I don't think I'm down to do it for this one right here.
Fine. I'll let you have it. CCO 17 calling a 40-minute game with 2-4 Dragon split for ID. And then
That
ID
would be
will
quite
win with
entertaining.
Baron.
Sounds very entertaining. We can only
that
hope.
will ruin our schedule.
That will ruin our schedule. Yeah, so as entertaining and as amazing as that would be, the flip side of that is it could be a short game. Regardless of which either team wins, and schedule's intact. So we will just have to see what happens, though. But I like to point out that super sexy Conqueror Nautilus skin there that Corey Trevor has on. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that skin, Monochrome.
I have really fond feelings of this, as I recently won that skin in my previous bet with you.
Oh, that's correct. I don't know what I don't know how I could have forgotten that, but I digress. We are now loaded into this game. Both teams hopefully Monochrome definitely hoping both teams will look for some super aggressive level 1 invade action as usual.
Yeah, and both teams have some decent level 1 capability here. It doesn't look like they're going to do it. This looks like a pretty decent, like 5 point start or 4 point start coming from both teams.
Man, look at that super sexy Conqueror Nautilus skin, man. I wish I had one of those.
It looks pretty good.
It does.
Plays pretty good too.
Yeah, once again, not going to see any aggressive level 1 action. Didn't see any yesterday in the games we cast, but both teams just going to be playing it nice and safe here. Don't want to get anything too out of the ordinary here at level 1. Did get that dot bush down on the side of Apes a little early, but I think it should still get the information that they need.
Ooh, Ward picking out the Nautilus Aphelios, just kind of guaranteeing that they know that those two are there. No cheekiness coming out of the tri-bush.
So Ancient Mommy is doing a solo start on the red. Definitely doable from Elise in, as his clear is effective early on. Be interesting to see if he kind of clear path he can do, if he is going to do a buff Gromp level 3 gank. Clear looks like he is heading over to his bot side now. But didn't need a leash from top side, so Muldo was able to stay in that top lane, or get into that top lane rather, just as the minions were there.
Now, I get the distinct feeling that we're going to have a whole lot of action down bot lane as both of these supports are hard engaged. Lego Jinjago going super low. The Ignite's ticking down. It will be enough to kill him. Last tick will secure first blood. On to Hacksaw.
That was quick. That was second wave, I think. Hitting that Zenith blade from Hacksaw.
Hacksaw actually positioning before he got level 2 specifically to land the E.
And that's exactly what you want to be doing when you're playing such an aggressive lane like Leona and Lucian. Obviously, the Nautilus is an aggressive pick, but with a Aphelios, not quite going to match up to the early game strength coming through from a Leona Lucian lane. So definitely need to be careful, especially around those level 2 spikes, and caught him off guard this time.
Speaking of being careful, FB Jake taking a lot of damage in this mid lane. Will engage on I Am Candy, but I Am Candy just going to pop in response. Wow, that's a lot of damage very quickly.
Yeah, that was a really good return trade there by Jake. Candy also just super out of mana right now. Gonna have to do an early recall. Gonna end up missing. Let's see. Oh, it does have teleport. So not gonna end up missing too much, but he's gonna have that teleport being on cooldown. Ancient Mommy coming in the backside.
Coming in from the flank here, looking to maybe pick up a kill onto FB Jake, who's already super low. Will get the scuttle speed boost though, so he'll get out.
It's always nice when you just happen to run past the scuttle that your team's taken, and it's going to end up saving your life, or at least make it much easier to get away. Always a nice little bonus. FBJ going to burn his teleport as well to get back to this mid lane, so both TPs will be down on this mid lane. Candies will be up a little bit earlier than Jake's, but not going to be too much of a window of TP advantage. Candy already have about 10 CS though. This wave, there's a wave that FBJ will be able to make up some of that if he's able to pick it up, but Candy's going to get a little bit of time here to roam down, maybe get some deep vision, maybe make something happen. Just gonna get a word there.
Gonna settle with the deep vision, spotting out Sina.
Top lane, though, Lost Fox up about 10 CS already as well. But it's still super early in these lanes. The real discrepancy is definitely down this bot lane. The first blood was picked up in the hands of... Hacksaw actually picked it up with the Ignite ticking down, but it's able to get them a pretty massive lead already. Wave is actually pushing back towards Iron Dragon at this point, which is a really good lane state for them to be in, as well as being up a decent amount of CS as well. So you'd maybe think that Ancient Mommy would be hovering this bot side as this wave is pushing in.
Well, it looks like Ain't Your Mummy will start pathing down. Isn't spotted.
Flash is available on both Legos and Jago and Corey Trevor. Was not burned in the previous fight they had earlier on, but Ape's playing very defensive here, knowing that even though they're having to give up some of the CS with the way the wave set is, not going to give Iron Dragon's bot lane much of any opening to engage here, especially as whether they are aware or not of Ancient Mommy being lurking around, definitely paying respect to it either way. Looks like the freeze on this wave is actually ended up being broken here, or the push. So the wave's in a pretty neutral state and probably will end up heading back towards the side of Apes, which is good for them. That CS discrepancies also slowly was growing during this whole slow push state. Ancient Mom going to pick up the respawn of the red buff here, taking it away from Senna. But looks like Sina's got the same thoughts of his own as he's picking up a little bit of a trade of red buffs here.
Good old vertical jungling.
But now both junglers also looking at this mid lane.
Oof, I'm getting a bunch of damage here, but Ain't Your Mommy is right there in the wings, gonna smite a minion for good measure. All in all, just some damage traded.
Interesting mirroring there between the two junglers, stealing each other's reds, then both instantly heading towards mid lane. Looks like Sana was able to get that pink ward down, though, around the red buff, so a little bit of deep vision obtained here on the side of Apes, while Ancient Mommy was not able to do that himself. And we are seeing Sana now heading towards his bot lane without being spotted out. And Ancient Mommy was just in that side of the jungle with the possibility of getting some of that vision, but doesn't look like it's going to end up mattering. Bot lane of Iron Dragon will spot him out there on that river ward.
Indeed, and that jungler is just going to have to settle for not getting blue, as Elijah Lu is going to go in for the kill, picks it up, and that is a solo kill for Elijah Lu on this Lucian.
Yeah, a little bit of a over-aggressive play there from Sina. Obviously was spotted out by Iron Dragon on the bot side there with that ward as they backed up. Should have known that it was a little too risky to try to make some sort of invade play into the jungle, blue side jungle there, and it's going to end up being punished for it. But so far, it's been a pretty slow-paced game. My prediction of 23 minutes is looking maybe a little bit quick. Obviously, things can explode quite rapidly, but as the
here's a good start.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to get some of these turret platings funneled right onto I'm Candy.
Ooh, big fight going on top lane. Lost Fox about to fall here too. The Mordekaiser will fall indeed. That was a pretty outstanding solo kill by Mulda.
Just so despite the big CS lead up in the top lane for Lost Fox, going to end up dropping a kill here to Mulda. Did have a lot of gold in his pocket at the time, so a lot of that discrepancy probably was not actually into effect at the time of this fight, but going to be walking back to lane, spending some of that. Mulda going to end up picking up a turret play here, though. Lost Fox missing out on a decent amount of XP and gold here to this wave crashing as well. Lost Fox still in lane, or still in base rather. It's like he was waiting to purchase
Negatron
no magic
Cloak?
mantle.
Or no magic mantle. There we go.
So we'll pick that up, have it in his pocket for the next trip back to lane. Seeing lots of deep vision though at the same time, being dropped into the red side jungle of Apes Together strong by Iron Dragon as they are looking to take down the Drake. So absolutely spotted out here on that pink ward in the bush. Iron Dragon is going to pull it out here. Not trying to have any sort of shenanigans coming through. So I'm going to spot out that pink ward. Going to end up clearing it, but Dragon does go over to Iron Dragon. And the CS discrepancy now in the bot lane, 35 CS, getting a little bit out of hand. As well as the mid lane, honestly, I'm Candy up a massive amount of CS as well. A little bit that's mitigated in the top side, but that kill picked up by Mould is going to do some work as well. But mid lane, Candy...
mid lane, oof! That is a quick kill for kill traded over. As a lot of damage flew very quickly.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Candy was actually able to pick up the return kill.
And now top lane, we have us another fight. Molda in a little bit of danger here. Gonna have to flash away. Elijah Lu was actually killed down bot lane. Death Realm goes off. Is actually parried by Lost Fox. Very well done.
Wish we'd seen what happened there on that bot side. Looks like potentially Lijalu was not, or Haxall rather, was not in lane. Potentially Lijalu got hooked out by Corey Trevor. More action topside though.
Yep, Lost Fox going in a little bit deep here. Will die. Molda picking up that kill after Ain't Mommy lands an absolutely stellar kick.
A little bit of a flashy Lee Sin play there coming through. Showing that he is definitely comfortable on this pick. Hasn't been able to find too many effective spots to gank the lane so far. Fizz definitely a difficult champion to gank with that playful trickster. Bot lane's been pushed in a decent amount of the time, but finds like a nice little play there on the top side to help save Mulda.
Yeah, Haxall about to fall here is going to stopwatch his way, and Lijalu going to pick up a kill. Oof! But Jake picks up the double with a single ability. I'm Candy, the next target on his list, as the damage will start to come out. But Ain't Your Mommy is here. Playful Trickster goes off. I'm Candy eating a ton of damage. The ult goes down. I'm Candy, flash for flash, and FB Jake will pick up the kill. Ain't Your Mommy coming in after Corey Trevor next. Gonna miss fail the flash and die for his efforts, but a good try off Corey Trevor here.
Yeah, Ancient Mommy was able to actually pick up Legos and Jago a little bit earlier on in that fight, but ended up leaving I'm Candy to deal with FB Jake by himself. Ended up costing Candy his life. Did end up securing both kills, but this Fizz now has 3 kills, so...
Indeed. And up in top lane, Lost Fox is bullying Mulda here.
And Mulda being pushed back to his turret. The CS discrepancy has actually been pretty nullified despite all that. Lost Fox was up a decent amount early on, but it's pretty even at this point. But the main thing I feel like we need to keep an eye on is FB Jake on this Fizz. He is definitely the driving force of this team when he's subbed into this mid lane, and was pretty much put down or kept at bay for the majority of the early laning phase with the still up about 40 CS. I'm Candy is. But these 3 kills being picked up on this Fizz, you saw just how it works. Like, alright, you're down a little bit of CS on Fizz, but that's still a Fizz. That's still a chum the waters, and a lot of damage is gonna coming through. And Iron Dragon just didn't quite respect that coming out, and ended up getting a bunch of kills onto this Fizz. So
Corey Trevor just barely making out of there with his life. Sana looking to maybe make something of it. Pops his ult to try to sneak in, but Ooh, does the second step. Will decide against engaging though, and will just to spin his ult to guarantee that his bot lane isn't leaped on under tower. That being said, bot lane tower is about to fall and will do so. And Hacksaw and Lejalu feeling pretty confident.
As they should. Just that CS difference in the bot lane just continues to grow. Legosh and Jago being put just so far behind at this point. Really would benefit them if they're able to somehow stem the bleeding on the CS on the bot side, but at some point it's going to end up getting out of hand for them to really mitigate and make up for in the other aspects of around the map. But if Aphelios is able to scale up, a lot of that is nullified. But again, the gold discrepancy is just so big right now that it's going to be hard to get to that point. And even if you do, you're still going to be so much farther behind Lijalu that it's going to be difficult to deal with.
Okay, random kill just occurred in mid lane. That happened so fast I couldn't even get my camera on it, as I'm Candy manages to pick off FB Jake there.
Yeah, and the little bit of gold influx that Jake got on his Fizz is a little bit not really even much of a worry to Iron Dragon at this point, just because of, again, the CS numbers. And this is something we've seen from Iron Dragon so consistently throughout the split. We do see Sign-Up probably going to end up going down here on this top side.
Yeah, this is brave. Yeah. Will get ticked off by the Mordekaiser.
I lost Fox. Finds himself surrounded by members.
Into a stun, having to repost it, and will do so is reinforced by his team. The Fizz going to drop the Chum the Waters. Lost Fox going in pretty hard here. Wants to pop his ult, but isn't going to quite get there. And now the Fizz is the one in danger. Hacksaw diving super deep. Will overextend and get himself killed. FB Jake going to survive that. And that was quite a prolonged team fight.
Yeah, ends up just going to be a 1-for-1. Iron Dragon could have backed out there with the 1-for-0, but Hacksaw got a little bit too aggressive as the members from Apes were able to rotate up to the top side. But while that was happening, Lijalu able to just chill down in this bot lane, get some good damage out onto that turret as well. Now up 62 CS onto Lijalu. Absolutely ridiculous. And that's what I was saying just a minute ago, is we've seen so consistently both Lijalu and I'm Candy able to get these massive CS leads onto their opponents and really mitigate any sort of chance or any sort of advantage that their opponents are able to pick up around the map in other locations. Such as that Fizz, the 3 kills picked up on the Fizz, like, could have definitely got a snowball going on this Fizz, but this being down so much gold in CS, both mid and bot, it's just really hard to make up for.
Ooh, and your mommy going in deep for FBJ. Gonna playful trickster and flash his way out of that. Very cleanly done. Good survival instinct on him. Ooh, Chum the Waters going down, followed by the Nautilus ult into the anchor. Nulda ulting in deep on a Corey Trevor. However, that's going to be his life, and a massive shutdown going on to Sinai here.
Yeah, 800 gold, definitely a meaningful amount. Definitely it's good to have it on this Kha'Zix, but it would have been definitely more beneficial if somehow Lost Fox was up in the top lane and be able to pick that up. But nonetheless, 800 more gold in the pockets of Apes Together strong. See if they're able to do something with it. As they're honestly slowly just kind of getting bled out of this game, just through the CSing numbers. Apes been able to pick up several kills, but yeah.
Kills being pretty close. However, Iron Dragon has managed to pick up both Rift Heralds and also both dragons so far, and that does not bode well, as they Iron Dragon, while not necessarily being flawless on the micro game, is controlling the macro game exactly how they need to in order to win this.
Yeah, really just using using these mid and bot lane leads to honestly just extend the mid and bot lane leads. They're just continually to especially the bot lane. They've been able to just push in the bot lane from such an early state and control the lane and just continue to grow the CS advantage. As well as Candy's just an absolute monster in this mid lane all game. 180 CS at 20 minutes right now. And they're going to have their eyes on this third Drake as fight's actually breaking out.
Ooh, big fight down our mid lane. Hacksaw landing a great Zenith Blade into a Solar Flare. Rift Herald's also dropped. Corey Trevor walking up to try to defend some, but it's not going to be enough. Lots of damage going on to Epi Jake. He's going to Playful Treacher his way out. Gargoyle Stone Plate popped onto the Nautilus, but it's not going to be enough. Epi Jake can eventually fall as well as the charges go down, and I think you should have taken your earlier bet.
True. It's kind of also we're talking about it was kind of a slow early game. Not too many kills are going on, but Iron Dragon able to just, as they're currently just diving the Nexus turrets, able to just mount these CS advantages and not really force anything. Just keep getting gold, and now just completely open up the game instantly. Yeah.
Indeed. Just going to pad the score a little bit, try to kill Corey Trevor one last time. Mulda wanting to make his score a little bit better, and that's going to be game as well, unless they try really hard to get FB Jake here, pad the score a little bit more. Minions are making progress onto the base, but one kill picked up for Lai Lu. Getting a little greedy with the score padding at this point, but it doesn't seem to matter. Minions getting the kill onto the Nexus, and we have a winner.
Iron Dragon going to pick up their 10th win of the split here, and I mean, we've been talking about how Iron Dragon's been looking very, very clean the past couple weeks, but ultimately I feel like this doesn't even come down to that. Iron Dragon had kind of some trouble, or not trouble, they just didn't really need to do much in the early game. It's hard to gank a Fizz. They try to make a play bot lane by having that slow push towards them. But Apes just really didn't buy into that. But it didn't matter because they were able to just mount the leads in the mid and bot lane just through CS. Pretty much this entire game is broken down to that. Just continuing to get more and more goal advantage onto I'm Candy and Lai Jialu. And when they decided they had enough, they just kind of ended the game. So definitely a smart, a well-executed game on the side of Iron Dragon. Just didn't require too much team... early game team map movements and plays, just more relying on out CSing and getting gold advantages that way.
On a side note, I would like to point out that Apes Together Strong had a pretty solid early game and actually seemed to start coming together as a team. They kept kind of pretty close with their roams and their micro play, keeping their jungler where they needed to be to counter gank and do all the things that they should have been doing. They just seem to lack a little bit more polish. Their macro game of not being able to contest the dragons or the Rift Heralds, or not thinking to contest the Rift Heralds, because both Rift Heralds were picked up completely uncontested with no vision on it. We're seeing improvement on their side, and I just want to encourage that and continue, or see them continue to grow as a team, and hopefully maybe get a little bit deeper into this series with a slightly better score.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely like this look from Sina on the Kazakhs. Looked much more effective than we've seen him in most of his games when he's been playing on the Shaco. But yeah, really, a lot of their improvements just were it didn't really end up making a difference because once again, kind of just outclassed. Not necessarily outclassed. I'm Candy just was an absolute monster on Syndra. You take him off his LeBlanc, he's going to be able to pick Syndra. You take him off his Syndra, he just got so many different champs he can play at such a high level. And you're going to have to find some way to be able to match him in the mid lane. And Jake just was not quite able to do it on this Fizz day, as well as Legos and Jagos a little bit outclassed, especially after the initial first blood given up definitely an uphill battle to be fighting in the spot lane. And Iron Dragon just did a great job of snowballing their advantages in these lanes.
Indeed. And with that, I think we'll cut to a brief break while we get set up for our next game of the day, which will be Trigger Happy versus Smug
Club
Club.
versus Trigger Happy. Absolutely.
Awesome. We will see you then. Don't change the channel.